Yes, dear students, in a previous class, we had discussed about the phylum Nematoda. Now, here we are going to take one more invertebrate phylum, that is Annelida. So, now coming to the phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida. Right. So, once again, I am repeating about the previous groups and their scientist names and the reason for name given to that group. Phylum Porifera by Robert E. Grant because of the presence of pores. Phylum Nidaria, the presence of nidoblast cells, the Barnes given to that group, Nidaria. And Ctenophores, the presence of comb plates, 8 rows of external ciliated comb plates, they are useful for locomotion. Then coming to phylum Platyhelminthes. So their body was flattened, dorso-ventrally flattened, hence they are commonly called flatworms. The name Platyhelminthes was given by Gegenbar. So coming to the next phylum, Nematoda. Nematos means thread-like structures, thread. In their cross section, the body looks like circular. Hence, the nematodes, they are commonly called roundworms. They are commonly called as roundworms because their cross section, they are looks like circular, and they are also looks like a thread. Hence, they are threadworms. Same way, here the term Annelida. So, the term Annelida was coined by J.B. Lamarck. Who coined the term phylum Annelida? That's Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. J.B. Lamarck. In a first very beginning class, we had discussed about another contribution of the J.B. Lamarck. He also coined the term protozoa, that is a biology, J.B. Lamarck. Here the word related to phylum Annelida, he coined the term J.B. Lamarck. So, in what way the name given to that group Annelida? Simple thing, the presence of annuli. The presence of annuli. Annuli means ring-like structures. Ring-like structures. So, in simple way, these are called segments. Segments. Technically, these segments are called metameres. Technically, they are called metameres. So, the presence of annuli. In a language, the annuli means ring-like structures. The presence of annuli, hence the name given to that group, Annelida. So, these ring-like structures are commonly called segments and they are technically called as metameres. Simple, what way their body was divided into ring-like structures? Simple, the annelids are segmented bodied animals. These are what? Segmented bodied animals. So, in our previous class, we discussed about the flatworms. Their body was unsegmented. But in some, one exemption is there, Taenia solium. That's a group of Cystoda. They exhibit pseudo-metamerism. That's a false segmentation. Why it is called false? We clearly explained in our previous class. The presence of the segments, that is, these segments are called proglottids. They are derived not from the posterior side, they are from the neck region. That's why they are not true segments. That's why it is pseudo-metamerism. But in annelids, the segmentation is true metamerism or homonymous segmentation. Their body was divided into many ring-like structures. That's why these are called segmented bodied animals. See, we are comparing the three groups, flatworms, roundworms and annelids. In flatworms, the body is unsegmented. In roundworms, the body is unsegmented, whereas in annelids, the body was segmented. Segmented bodied animals belongs to the phylum Annelida. So, simple way, here this is the body of annelid. The body cavity is called coelom. The body cavity was called coelom. The coelom Bisepta. Bisepta. Septa means a partition. Partition. Bisepta. The coelom is divided into many compartments, many ring-like structures. Each ring-like structure is called as one segment. Hence, these are called segmented bodied animals. So, this is the clarification about the word phylum Annelida, and who coined the term Annelida, in what way given to that group, the name to that group, that is the clarification. Now, so these annelids, the annelids may be aquatic and terrestrial. That means some are, see, the annelids may be aquatic or terrestrial. So, what is meant by aquatic medium and terrestrial? Terrestrial means they live on the land, So, aquatic, they live in water. Okay. So, in the first or very beginning classes, we discussed about the aquatic medium. The aquatic medium classified into three groups: freshwater, marine, brackish. Here, annelids, some annelids are freshwater, they live in freshwater, and some annelids, they are in marine medium. That's one aspect. And they may be free living, and parasitic forms. Yes, we know well the familiar example, that is leech. The leech belongs to the phylum Annelida. It is a parasitic annelid. So, example for parasitic annelid was a leech. And free living, so there are so many examples are there: earthworms, tubifex, nereis, etc. So, they may be free living, they do not depend on others, that's why they are called free living. But some are parasitic, they depends on others, they suck the blood, vertebrate blood, not only the human beings. So, they depends on all other vertebrates, they suck the blood, that's why they are parasitic. See, the characteristic features of the phylum Annelida. Yes, in our previous class, we discussed very important areas in that way. The first triploblastic phylum is a Platyhelminthes. From Platyhelminthes onwards, all are triploblastic. Yes, here we are going to take the characteristic features of annelids. Yes, these are also triploblastic animals. Same way as like a flatworms, as like roundworms. The annelids also triploblastic animals. So, triploblastic nature means their body wall possess outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, inner endoderm. Between these two, mesoderm was there. That's why these are triploblastic animals. So, in another way, this is the common character for flatworms, roundworms, as well as annelids. These are also bilateral symmetrical animals. They exhibit bilateral symmetry. These are the two common characters for Platyhelminths group and nematode group. But what is the different character among the three? Once again, I'll give flatworms are triploblastic, bilateral symmetrical, acoelomates, because there is no coelom in their body. And regarding roundworms, so coming to roundworms, nematoda group, they are also triploblastic, they are bilateral symmetrical, pseudo-coelomate animals, false coelom. So, why they possess false coelom? So their body cavity, that's coelom, is not lined by peritoneum. There is no peritoneal lining. So the unoccupied portion is the remnant of blastocele. The blastocele is the primary body cavity. Coelom is the secondary body cavity. So whereas in annelids, from annelida onwards, all are eucoelomates. Eucoelomates means they possess true coelom. So true coelom means, here this is the space, see, this is the body wall, and it is the alimentary canal or gut. So the space present between the body wall and gut, that is called coelom. In a transverse section, TS, in a transverse section, this is the body wall, and here it is the gut. So the space present between the body wall and gut, that is called coelom. So in annelids, the coelom, it is a true coelom. So why it is a true coelom? True coelom means the coelom is lined by double layered peritoneum. So one layer towards the gut or visceral organs, this is called visceral or splanchnic peritoneum, and one layer that is towards the ectoderm or body wall, that is what somatic or parietal peritoneum. So peritoneal lining with 2 layers, outer is the somatic, inner is visceral. The coelom between these two layers, this is the body cavity, this is the coelom. The coelom is lined by peritoneum, hence that is called true coelom. The first eucoelomate phylum is Annelida. The invertebrate phylum with the true coelom is the Annelida. Not only the Annelida, from Annelida to Echinodermata, that's invertebrate groups, Annelida to echinoderms, they are all true coelomates. Yes. So generally, based on their formation, the true coelom is of 2 types. One is schizocoelom and second one is enterocoelom. So what type of true coelom is present in annelids? See, not only in the phylum Annelida, in the phylum Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca, they possess true coelom. The type of true coelom was schizocoelom. This is the very important point. So in echinoderms, that is in deuterostomes, enterocoelom was there. One type of true coelom is the schizocoelom, and other type of true coelom, that was enterocoelom. Now here in this class, today's class, we are going to take the characteristic features of the phylum Annelida. So annelids possess the type of true coelom is the schizocoelom. Right. Now what is meant by schizocoelom? Based on the formation of the coelom, it's of 2 types. One is schizocoelom and second one is enterocoelom. So schizocoelom is the true coelom which is formed by the splitting of mesoderm. That's why it is schizocoelom. See, annelids are triploblastic, bilateral symmetrical, schizocoelomate invertebrates. Schizocoelomate, segmented bodied animals. So for entrance point of view, you must remember what type of coelom, true coelom present in annelids. The answer is coelom. So in another way, he can ask a question in entrance examination. So he'll give three options. In one option, phylum Annelida. In second option, phylum Arthropoda. In a third option, phylum Mollusca. In a fourth option, he will give all the three. So now the question is, which of the following are schizocoelomate phyla? Which of the following are schizocoelomate phyla? So in annelids, arthropods and molluscans, the type of true coelom, that was schizocoelom. That's why these three are called schizocoelomate phyla. Schizocoelomate triploblastic segmented bodied animals, that is the characteristic feature of annelids. Right. Next, so coming to this one more, coelom. So here the coelom, it is a true coelom. The type of true coelom was the schizocoelom. The coelom was filled with a fluid. The coelom was filled with a fluid. That fluid is called coelomic fluid. The coelom is filled with a fluid that is called coelomic fluid. So very important character here. The coelomic fluid acts as a hydrostatic skeleton. Hydrostatic skeleton. So what is meant by hydrostatic skeleton? In annelids, there are no special locomotory structures, but in some organs, some structures, they assist in locomotion. For example, we can say setae. In parasitic annelids like leeches, suckers, they helps in locomotion. As well as in earthworm-like organisms, the coelomic fluid gives stiffness to their body parts during the locomotion. So that's why hydrostatic skeleton, coelomic fluid is called hydrostatic skeleton. Why the coelomic fluid is called hydrostatic skeleton? During the locomotion, it gives, the coelomic fluid gives stiffness or rigidness to the body parts during the locomotion. That's why the coelomic fluid acts as a hydrostatic skeleton. That's about the coelom. Now coming to their body wall. So very important character here for entrance point of view. In annelids, their body wall possess the two types of muscles. These two types of muscles are also helps in locomotion. See, the body of annelids possess, so the body wall with the two types of muscles, circular muscles and longitudinal muscles. Circular and longitudinal muscles in their body wall. So these two types of muscles are helps in locomotion. See, just now we discussed, for example, in earthworm, there are no special locomotor structures. The setae helps in locomotion. Coelomic fluid also assists in locomotion, and the muscles, the two types of muscles which are present in the body wall, they also helps in locomotion. Then coming to digestive system. Coming to the systems. Digestive system. So digestive system is a well developed with alimentary canal, and hepatic caecae like the structures, they act as the digestive glands. Here in annelids, The alimentary canal is the straight tube-like structure, The size of the alimentary canal, is equal to the size of the body. So that's why it is straight. For example, we can take another example, that is arthropod cockroach. In cockroach, the alimentary canal is more lengthy than its body size. That's why the alimentary canal is highly coiled. Whereas in annelids, the alimentary canal is straight tube-like structure, and it is muscular. So coming to respiratory system. In annelids, there are no special respiratory organs. Special respiratory organs means, for example, in aquatic vertebrates, gills are the respiratory organs. They are also present in aquatic arthropods, and book gills, lungs in terrestrial animals, and book lungs in terrestrial arthropods like arachnids, and trachea like insects, and lungs in higher vertebrates. These are the special respiratory organs in some other groups. But in annelids, there are no special respiratory organs, but they can respire. In what way they can respire? Simple process, that is simple diffusion, the exchange of respiratory gases. By simple diffusion through their body wall. That's about the respiratory system. Then coming to circulatory system. See, very, very important point here, the circulatory system. In annelids, the circulatory system is of closed type. So generally, circulation is of two types, closed type, open type. So what is the difference between closed and open? The blood flow, the flow of the blood, only blood flow only within the blood vessels. So there are no empty spaces. Generally, the empty spaces present in arthropods, they are called as sinuses. Those empty spaces are called sinuses. So in arthropods, the blood vessels are poorly developed. The course of circulation, the flow of blood along with blood vessels, that was poured into the sinuses. But here in annelids, the blood vessels are well developed, so there is no need of the presence of sinuses. That's why the type of circulation is called closed type. Here, very, very important point for entrance point of view. So the respiratory pigment. So the common respiratory pigment was hemoglobin, that gives a red color to the blood. But this is not important point regarding entrance examination. Here it is the important aspect, where it is present. What is the difference between the presence of hemoglobin in annelids as well as vertebrates? Simple thing. In annelids, the RBCs are absent. So that hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma. The hemoglobin was dissolved in plasma. That is the unique character. That is the unique character of invertebrates. Whereas in vertebrates, in the vertebrate group, the RBCs are present, the hemoglobin present in the RBC. But in annelids, the RBCs are absent, the hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma. That's very important point for entrance examination. And one more, the heart is dorsal in position. Heart is in dorsal position. Whereas in the vertebrate groups, the vertebrate groups, the heart is ventral in position, ventral. That is about the circulatory system. So coming to nervous system, So the nervous system is a well developed with sense organs. So the nervous system possesses nerve ring and double ventral ganglionated nerve cord. In annelids, the nerve ring is formed around the pharynx. So the nerve ring is formed by the combination of three structures. For example, we can say here it is the pharynx. This is the pharynx. It is a part of alimentary canal. Just above the pharynx, suprapharyngeal ganglia. Below the pharynx, subpharyngeal ganglia. And from the subpharyngeal ganglia, a pair of nerves which move towards the suprapharyngeal and they combine with these. So one is suprapharyngeal, one is subpharyngeal, and third one pericircumpharyngeal connectives. By the combination of these three, a ring is formed around the pharynx. Then coming to the second one, double ventral ganglionated nerve cord. So in annelids, the body is divided into many ring-like structures. They are commonly called segments. So they nearly 90 to 100. There is no definite number of segments except leeches. Only the Heridinia group. In leeches, the definite number of segments are present. There are 33. 109 are subsegments. 33 are the segments. 109 are subsegments. But other annelids, there is no definite number of segments. See, in each segment, that nerve cord gives ganglia. Here this is a ganglia. These are ganglia. In each segment, one ganglia is there. So that's why it is ganglionated, double, the two in number. They are in ventral position, ventral side. They possess ganglia. This is about nervous system. And coming to sense organs like eyes, tentacles, and one more very important point, statocyst. So eyes are not important for entrance examination, and tentacles. Only the statocyst very important. These statocysts for equilibrium. They maintain equilibrium or body balance, equilibrium. That's about nervous system. Then coming to excretory system. First time in the animal kingdom, the special excretory structures are developed. They are called as nephridia. So excretory system. So the special excretory organs are called nephridia. So very important aspect here, the nephridia are the ectodermal in origin. Nephridia. So in earthworm like annelids, these nephridia are of three types. There are three types of nephridia are there. So pharyngeal nephridia, integumentary nephridia, pharyngeal and integumentary, and septal nephridia. There are three types of nephridia are there. So they are useful for osmoregulation as well as excretion. So pharyngeal nephridia, septal nephridia. These are for osmoregulatory in function, and integumentary nephridia for excretion. So coming to last, reproductive system, reproductive. So except Nereis, Nereis is commonly called as sandworm, sandworm. So in this Nereis, for locomotion as well as respiration, the vascularized parapodia are there. But the Nereis is a unisexual. Some are unisexual, example Nereis, and some are bisexual, bisexual, example earthworm and leeches, earthworm and leeches. These are bisexual organisms. And the fertilization is some internal and in some external. Internal fertilization is only seen in leeches because they has a copulatory organ that is called cirrus. So earthworm like organisms, the fertilization is external, the development is indirect, the development is indirect. Indirect development means the presence of larval stages. Here the larval stage was trochophore. The name of the larval form is a trochophore. So examples, one is Nereis. It is commonly called sandworm. It belongs to the class Polychaeta. Then earthworms like Megascolex, Ferritima, Lumbricus, Ketogaster anandeli, etc., etc. And leech, Hyrudinea. Hyrudinea. It is commonly called leech. Yes, students, this is the information about the class phylum Annelida. Now tomorrow we are going to take another phylum, that is Arthropoda. The phylum Arthropoda. Right.